Where they're having to maybe put the laptop into the car in the pit lane, but like I say with the other series, they've got pit car radio, so no doubt he's constantly feeding back to his engineers in the pit lane what the car's doing. We've got obviously 17 and a half minutes to go, and no doubt the person who wants to
neck of the woods at the moment and tell us whether he's Liverpool touchback or not.
Does it look electric? He's the highest place finisher from last year's championship. He's sixth in this year's championship, which is where he finished in 2025. But in the first feature race of the year, but we've got a
is Alessandro Giusti, who is 28. That's a good effort by Alessandro Giusti. Neck of the woods at the moment and tell us whether he's Liverpool touchback or not.
He's the highest place finisher from last year's championship. He's sixth in this year's championship, which is where he finished in 2025. But in the first feature race of the year, but we've got a
is Alessandro Giusti, who is 28.
take a sigh of relief and think job done with. So there's obviously more to come than that. It's just whether that car is able to do it for one lap and then has further issues, or whether they're being able to do it and no program they run.
As long as he can stay away from his teammate, Noah Stromstad, normally these guys are actually pretty good. It's when you get to 42 they start arguing and swapping bodywork, etc. But the Formula 3 team drivers
of Stowe, Pedro Claro, who has had a second in the sprint race in Austria, is his best, is riding on board again. The cars.
This session in the number 5 driving car. He won the qualification race and he got himself into the lead of that race. He dropped down to second behind Mario Boyer, and then just, as it's so easy to do now, where it's a street track with Mario.
So 3 minutes of the session to go. Freddie Slater, we can almost now confidently say he's generally the fastest. Christian Alvarez, a brilliant driver. And the spread of times is just under 2 seconds. Where's the magic second then to 3.6 miles, which is what Silverstone is.
Surprising.
Yeah.
But Freddie's
riding on board.
each team has got as well. John just so you've got the second half. So we've got some good pictures now. The driver of the back five meeting your favourite drivers, that's where you can do that with Kenzie Benali, Sam Mills, and DJ Tony Cohen. All of Fan Forecourt is where you can find all of that. It looks amazing, look at it. Look at that. Imagine having all that stuff, Sam. It's amazing. Fan Forecourt's where you can head for that. You can also head at some point today to Drivers In. We've got driver interviews happening down there as well. On stage with Lucy Mills and also Shell State Bring the Energy on the DJ booth. But yes, some proper stuff happening. It's the first action on the track that we're having today. We've got all timings, as I say. I'll remind you quickly in case you missed it first time. F1 practice happening at 12:30 and F1 sprint quali at 4:30 today. So racemakers are all around. So we chatted yesterday to a couple of racemakers about why they do this job. So here we go. This is some of the racemakers that we spoke to yesterday.
Hi, my name's Tara. I've been a racemaker for 4 years, and this weekend I am working spectator experience in the grandstands in the International Zone.
My name's Georgie, and I've been a racemaker for 5 years. So my role this year for the F1 is I am a team leader for accessibility. It's the new role that Silverstone have introduced this year to increase the support that we have for our accessibility customers.
I keep coming back as a racemaker because it's an incredible weekend with an amazing sport, and I genuinely love watching people enjoy and have the sport together.
I love coming back because I've made some of my best friends get to come back and spend time with some of the best people.
Fun fact, I actually met my boyfriend here 4 years ago, and now I've just moved from Blackpool to Birmingham for him. The event's massively changed over the time I've been here, especially with the change in social media and Drive to Survive. There's people from babies all the way up to people that are long-term F1 fans.
We're seeing the way that Silverstone are leading forward to make sure that our accessible customers have the appropriate support that they need around the circuit and in the circuit.
My secret tip for coming to Silverstone is wear really good shoes, because last year I broke my ankle because I had the wrong foot on.
Always pack lip balm because you never know how much the winter is going to get you.
The best thing I love about being here is being at the greatest racetrack in the country and getting to soak up the atmosphere with everyone that loves the sport.
The reason I love it here so much is you get to work with some amazing people and you get to support one of the biggest motorsports of the whole year globally. If you want to get involved, check out the Silverstone website.
Just clipping the curbs there under the bridge.
Jim Hackett are a part of the race schedule.
You can see him scraping along the curb there.
You're on and back, you're condemned to that grid position for both races. Finn McLaughlin, only 50, trying to improve. Everybody wanting, if they can, be in
ends up winning. Oh, it's a reverse group pole. He's the one in 12th place, number 2 car. But never find that out. He walked with that minute when he wasn't pole. It was the second quickest, 1:45.88. Second absolute quickest through there.
It's the basic improvement of the event and the actually sets his best ever qualifying. I think that's pushed to 12.
Okay,
So that could drive out the other place.
good effort. And the gap between Robin and Richard, 3,000